Hi, loves. I have been feeling the strong urge to share a message for the last couple hours, and I was waiting for a time that my house would be nice and quiet, which is not an option today. So I am accepting that the conditions don't need to be perfect for me to share what needs to be shared. And I am feeling a strong call for the people that this is meant for. That I have found a way to heal my energy and maintain it consistently, that I can receive these messages, and I am being strongly told that this is what I have been preparing for. So I am no longer resisting, and I am opening my heart and my energy to whatever needs to be shared right now. And something that was coming to me very loudly right before I started recording was that you have so much wisdom, and you have not always given yourself the faith and trust in that wisdom. That's the difficult thing about intuition, is it is not something that we are typically taught to follow. There's no curriculum for that. So if your parents did not practice following their own intuition and model and teach that to you, then you haven't learned how to do that. And you have been receiving some strong impressions for quite some time now. I wanted to say the past several weeks or months, but it may even be years. And there are a lot of voices, internal and potentially external, that have been discouraging you from following these impressions that you've been receiving. And something that feels important in this time is accessing your higher self. And that might be literally imagining your higher self coming to you and having a conversation with you, and even just channeling that energy can help you feel more grounded in the energy that you need to be in to do what you know you need to do. And that could be anything small, from little ways that you are needing different kinds of care in this time, or bigger things, where you are being called to bring in change into your life that maybe doesn't quite follow the typical, or what your plan originally was, and that leaves you questioning if now is the right time, if you are the quote right person, if you have what you need to be able to do this, and what would even come of this change, because you may not see the whole staircase, but impressions are not typically giving you the entire staircase at once. It is oftentimes just illuminating the very first step. And something that's coming to me right now is that these promptings to take that first step are coming from your higher self. And if you struggle with trusting yourself now, you may struggle with trusting your higher self. So I hope that my words can bring some reassurance to some of those concerns that you may be having. Because your higher self, I'm having this warm, gentle, calming energy washing over me right now as I'm thinking about your higher self. Your higher self wants you to know that you can trust them. And they know that you might struggle to do that. And that's okay. And that's just a part of the process. Being brave is not about being fearless. It's about doing things even when you're scared, even when you have fears. Your higher self wants you to know that you are loved and you already have everything that you need inside of you. You are already your higher self. Your journey is just about learning how to stay in touch with your higher self more consistently. How to live in your higher self. And that doesn't mean that the versions of yourself that you experience now or have in your past doesn't mean that they're any less a part of you. They all served a purpose. And there is a lot of love and gratitude for these versions of ourselves because they held us when we needed to be held, and they protected us when we needed to be protected. And they helped us get our needs met when we had needs. Our higher self is a safe place for all of those versions of ourselves and incorporates all of them, but with an unwavering sense of groundedness and calm and peace and love and loving boundaries with those parts of ourselves. So that way we are acting aligned with our higher self. You might be feeling I have a lot of words coming to me. Uncertain, confused, worried, anxious, overwhelmed, maybe even a little bombarded. Like, how do you know when you are in touch with your higher self? How do you know that you are making decisions as your higher self? How do you know that you're receiving messages from your higher self? I had another wave of gentle calm and warmth, reassurance, and knowing. You know when you are receiving messages from your higher self. And sometimes we might think that we are not, and we worry about whether we are acting on messages from our higher selves, but that's a part of the process. Sometimes a part of our evolution to our higher selves is acting on messages, no matter the source of those messages. Because we will learn in time if they are aligned or not. And they may just be aligned at the time and then become unaligned. And that's okay. It's all a part of the journey. Your higher self wants you to know that you will get there as if there's a destination. Because there's not. Of course there's not. We are forever on the journey. But at some point in the future, you will have clarity of why you made the choices that you did. The thing that your higher self needs you to know right now is your priorities should include taking care of yourself and paying attention to what helps you feel grounded and calm and at peace. Because those are the times when we will most clearly hear the things we need to hear, receive those messages we need to receive. And those are the times that we will feel most confident, most secure in the knowledge that those messages are from our higher self. The messages are not always loud. So finding ways and creating the space, the stillness to receive those messages. And that doesn't mean that you need to do that perfectly right now in order to receive the messages. That's not at all. What that means, what's being communicated here is that it's actually whatever is accessible to you right now, because these messages will still be sent to you no matter the space that you're in. It might be in YouTube videos or in things that people are saying to you, underlying meanings that you get from things that you're reading. And you might think, and this is a part of us that can come up and be an obstacle or block us from receiving or acting on messages. You might have this part that says, well, this is not the way that we receive messages, or this is not the way that we're supposed to receive messages, or that might be a bad source if it's coming from X, Y, or Z. And that's okay. That's okay for that voice to be there. It serves a purpose. But notice how you feel. Notice how you feel when you hear that. Is it a restrictive feeling? Is there tension? Do you feel yourself shrinking or feel small? Do you feel unsure or scared or confused? Our higher self does not provoke. Does not provoke those feelings. The messages that our higher self gives us might still come with those feelings if it stirs up, if the messages stir up other narratives or parts of us that we have from conditioning and trauma and growing up in a world of mixed medias. But the message itself from our higher selves, even if it's fleeting, will give us a sense of peace and certainty and clarity and calm and knowing, deep knowing. This is a patient energy. There's no urgency in this energy. There might be a timeliness if it needs to happen now or soon. But if you're feeling an urgency or a frazzled, overwhelmed, frantic energy, that is not from your higher self. Our higher self comes to us from a calm and grounded and certain and secure and curious and compassionate and loving place. So the messages that we receive from our higher self will be accompanied by those feelings. So, self-care in this time and learning how to create spaciousness for those feelings. And that might just be maybe the very first step is that you are just practicing identifying those feelings. That creates spaciousness for those feelings to exist. Just like when I'm having a image of a child, it may be your child or somebody else's child, or you as a child, showing a picture that they drew. And someone who's busy might not even acknowledge it or just say, oh, that's so cool, and just keep moving on. But creating a spaciousness would be turning towards this child showing their drawing and acknowledging it. Oh, you drew this. You put so much effort into this. Look at all these colors. That creates spaciousness for that experience to exist. And the hope would be that it can exist longer than it might have otherwise. So here, practicing identifying these feelings, the feelings that we want to have more of in life, that calm, peace, security, safety, love, knowing, deep knowing. We can cultivate more of these feelings if we allow the space for them to exist. And the very first step can be just acknowledging them when we're experiencing them. and looking for them. If you've already started to do that, the next step might be, when do I notice that these feelings are happening? And can I build into my routine more ways for these feelings to happen? Something that's coming to me now is this might be a practice of being outside, or being as close to nature as you possibly can. Dirt or trees, the soil, the plants. Something living. That might mean this is a call for you to spend more time there. Or maybe the feelings that you might experience in that setting, just getting in touch with those, just imagining how you feel when you're out in nature can help you channel those feelings and help you familiarize. What we look for is more of what we experience. And that means, because not only are we drawing more of that into our life, but it might just quite literally be that we are seeing more of what's already there that we haven't been noticing as much. And you might be thinking, I don't have abundance of that. And that's okay. That is, we are not taught an abundant way of living or abundant mindset. But you can have abundance even in the one thing that you have. Maybe you have the one experience that brings you joy. And the example that's coming to me is the picture or the video that I'll take of my dog, my rescue dog. When she's excited and running around and tail wagging and acting like a dog who has never been through difficult things. She's free, unburdened. When I take those pictures or those videos, I'm already acknowledging that feeling, that experience in the moment, but I will go back and re-watch these things over and over. I'm already creating more abundance from this one experience because I'm getting to experience it over and over. And that doesn't mean you need to record everything. This was just an example of, we might think that we don't already have abundance. That's a double negative. We might struggle at times with feeling abundant. But abundance doesn't mean as simply as we are first imagining it to be. That all of a sudden, everything is just going to fall into our lap. Abundance can look 1,000 different ways, and it's just being open to whatever that's going to look like for us. This openness to what life, what our higher selves, what the universe or the higher power or whatever you believe is bringing into your life right now, an openness. That feels like the theme for this next chapter as things are about to change. You are ready for this change. You are ready. You are wise. You have everything that you need. And whatever you don't already have that you need, it will come. It will come more abundantly as you continue to look for and lean into these things, into these messages, into these feelings, into in trusting in your intuition. this feels like a good time to wrap up this message. But I want to create some space to see if there's anything else that needs to be shared. Everything is going to work out. Everything is working in your favor. You are special. You are loved. You are important. And you have extensive energy looking out for you. Whether that's people on this earth or people who've already moved on to the next life, who have left this earth, or the higher power, or the universe, or karma, or whatever it is that you believe in. I can feel it. It feels like it is extending further than I can even see. Sending you all of the peace and love. And I will talk to you soon.